Howdy, everyone. This is American Hillbilly, and welcome to Beer, Guns, and Therapy. So, I hope you all are having a great evening tonight. We got some great people that's fixing to jump on here. And so, anyway, I'm going to add them, and we got a special guest tonight, too. So, here we go. We got Gene from the Hot Pot.
Howdy, y'all.
We got Jamie, JH there.
Hey, fellas, happy Saturday.
And we got Mark.
Hello, all.
And we got Walter.
Hey guys, I don't know if you can see me or not, but
We can see you great now.
okay. the magic of the internet.
Yeah, well, we can see y'all now, no problem, or see you.
Good deal.
Anyway, we got some great people over on the side chat. We got Kingpin, Tactical Fud. We got Walter over there too. We got Zinger, Garage Guy. Thank you all for coming. So we have a special guest tonight, and anyway, I thought it'd be cool to bring him on, and he's also a gun YouTuber too. So he sent me a little deal here, small video. So I am going to play this for you guys. If I can get it to open up here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So here, let me put this up. See, I thought I had this all ready. Oh my goodness. Nope, that is not it. Doggone it. What is going on here? So you guys having a good Saturday anyhow?
Yeah, I am. I went shooting this afternoon, worked on a video project I got going on. I'm almost done with the next episode of that 68 series. Smoked and joked with the boys down at the gun club, so it was a good day for me.
Y'all are not going to believe this. I made a video.
No,
All
say it
right.
isn't so.
It's uploading as we speak.
Jamie,
All right.
Jamie, that's bad.
Yes.
That's bad.
I
All
know
right,
I'm probably going to go to YouTube hell.
All
Well-
right. Well, I got his video ready here, so let's
right.
watch this.
I love the logo.
Cover shooting sports and events. I'm not an expert, but I play one on TV. Seriously though, I'm just an average shooter like you who just happens to like to videotape the stuff that I do, the things that I buy, and some products that get sent to me to test and evaluate. Now, I'm not sponsored by any brands or companies. I'm not a paid shill.
Shut up and take my money.
If a product sucks, I'll tell you why. But if a product works, I'll show you. Now, it's really mostly just me writing, filming, and editing all of these videos. But I take pride in the fact that they look a lot more professional than your typical YouTube video. The products are well shot, the features detailed, the content clearly presented. It's a straightforward, honest approach with a little bit of humor and a lot of humility. And if that's what you're looking for, well, join the thousands who are already subscribed to this channel and hit that button and the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Moondog out. Hey, thanks for joining the channel.
Did you guys able to hear that okay?
Yeah, I got most of it.
Okay, I don't know what was going on with the deal. Too much for my computer, maybe. I don't know. But leave it to me to mess that up, you know.
Well, it's like a friend of mine and Gene said once. If you're going to be live on the internet, you probably need to have your pants on. No, I couldn't hear it.
Oh no. Well,
That's all right. Hey, man, I'm telling. Moondog looks like he does some long range shooting. I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah.
all right. Well, we'll bring him on right now.
Howdy, folks. Howdy, y'all.
Hey, buddy. Hello.
Hey, Moondog.
Hey,
Howdy.
Moondog. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Good to meet
virtually.
you, brother.
Can somebody throw a link out there to his channel? I don't have a wrench anymore, since I
Sure will. Here.
started, so I can't do it.
Yeah, let's get subbed up.
Well, thanks for having me on. Thank you, American Hillbilly, for inviting me.
You bet you, buddy. We're glad to have you. I've watched your videos and I really liked them and everything. And so, I thought, man, this community here that we have, just enjoy, a lot of guns. There's a lot of people on here. This community does the reloading and everything. And so
Great.
I thought you'll fit right in here. So
Right.
you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from there, and you kind of have a different set of gun rules than a lot of the
Oh,
rest of
yeah.
us do.
So I'm going to round out things by I'm going to let you guys know that I'm behind enemy lines in the fabulous communist state of California, in San Francisco, no less. So you're not going to get very many places that are more sort of non-2A friendly than here. But despite that, there's still plenty of God-fearing 2A supporters and shooters out here. I'm actually a member of a local rifle and pistol club here, and what good news! We recently found out. I shoot mostly at the sheriff's range where the club shoots at, but we just found out that we got our charter, or at least our agreement with the sheriff's department. So hopefully we'll be shooting again soon and filming over at the range. Though the weather hasn't been very cooperative this winter, as you guys have seen in the news with. In fact, I think my backyard is I'm still going to have to be digging out for most of the year with all the mud that's got into my backyard. But so I'm originally from California, though I spent most of my adult life in even a place even less gun friendly than California, if you could believe that, in New York City. So for 25 years or thereabouts, about 20 years altogether, I lived in New York City. And if you can believe this, it costs, I believe last I looked, it was $350 for a gun license per gun in New York City.
Wow.
And that is if you could get a license. So you either had to be
My goodness.
law enforcement, relative of law enforcement, or some politician there to get your gun license. So it was really hard to get one. But so I kept most of my guns back home and my mom's in California until I moved back to take care of family. But I've been shooting all my life since I was about 10 years old in the Boy Scouts, and I've been a huge fan of pistols, rifles, and I do shoot a little bit of long range, though I don't get much long range. I mean, the range we're at is only like 100 yards, and occasionally I'll get down to the 200-yard range in San Jose, which is about an hour and a half or so. So not too often down there, but there are a couple of really long range, like mile long ranges, but that's out in like Sacramento or out in the Sierras. But as soon as I can get some free time, I'll definitely check that out. So, and as Hillbilly had mentioned, I have a YouTube channel where I've been reviewing rifles, pistols, ammo, and other stuff. And a gadget channel that I spun off last year to handle all the gadgets and camera gear and things that I picked up on Amazon. So yeah, that's pretty much this some of what I've been doing. And I recently got back from SHOT Show. I heard some of you guys were out there too.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, a lot of people in this community were just at SHOT Show. You probably walked by them here and there. I would
Probably.
imagine.
This will
Which-
interest you, Moondog. I grew up right down the road from you, down in Gilroy.
Oh no
You
way!
know where that-
Yeah.
yeah. I probably left before you were born.
Well, I'm older than I look, so
Yeah, well, I'm younger than I look. So, I'm only 28. So yeah, interesting. So I get everything you're saying about the difficulties we face with the political atmosphere here. It's tough to deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm looking as soon as I can to move out somewhere to one of the free states like Idaho.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I seen when I was watching your videos and your older videos, I assume it's because you've been in New York and didn't really have any place to shoot that you took advantage of the airsoft stuff.
Oh yeah, I really.
And so, I mean, that's some great training when you're not in a place that you are not able to shoot. At least you can practice that stuff, and just the fundamentals of handling a rifle or a pistol. So that was exciting too, I thought.
Oh yeah, I mean it's great holster training. I mean, especially during the pandemic when even some of the ranges that I went to were closed. So if the only way you could really practice, it's a great way. It's a good cheap way to practice, like holster drawing and CQB, because those guns have a decent range of 50 feet or so. But that's all you really need if you're trying to just go after you're getting some IPSC training at home, and certainly cheaper than shooting 9 or 45. So
yeah, one of the people's asking if we can post your link to your channel. So one of the moderators or anybody like to do that. I know you can find it at Moondog on YouTube. Search Moondog Industries. I'm sorry.
Yep. And I have also website moondogindustries.com. So if you could if you can't find it doing a search on YouTube for some reason, you could always go to the website and go in through the videos that are posted there back into my channel on YouTube. By the way, on airsoft, I know there's a lot of in the gun community are like, okay, that's kid stuff, and I perfectly fine. I love seeing the kids playing that. But one of the things I really I'm proud of is every year I host a big airsoft game back east. About 1,000 players, typically, and we raise about $10,000 every year for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation doing that. So that's one of the things I still enjoy doing.
That's great.
I'm probably heading to the airsoft range with my son tomorrow.
Oh, awesome!
A little bit. Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, Mark's got a couple of videos up with his son Seth, and he out at the airsoft range.
Awesome, that's great news.
Yeah, and if you go over and check out Moondog's channel, he had a couple little basically, I don't know if you call him a hack for like the Keltec 2000 and stuff. I thought that was really neat. Just some little simple things you can do to help the recoil on there and stuff. And so I thought that was really neat. And also, you posted one picture where you actually had a wild turkey out on the gun range while people were shooting. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, you might remember growing up in Gilroy, the wild turkey out in the hills there, but the Metcalf range, or the Santa Clara Field Sport Park, which is just a little bit north of Gilroy, they've got wild boar, they've got wild turkey, and you're not legally allowed to shoot them when they're in the range because it's county land.
Yeah, we used to go up in the hills back up behind Alum Rock Park in San Jose, back up there and east of Gilroy, the hills there, and there's a whole bunch of that's now all either county park area that's been placed into private hands, or rather public hands, where you can't do anything. They don't even want you walking on it.
Yeah, and they know it. I'm sure those turkeys know it.
Oh yeah. We lived out in the country, out on Hecker Pass Road, which is a road from Gilroy over to Watsonville.
Oh yeah.
And there was lots of turkeys and just all sorts of manner of critters, coyotes, everything you wanted to shoot at was out there. Back in the day when I was a kid, it was all pretty much legit, but not anymore.
Well, yeah, and I was also wanting to ask you, oh man, your video quality and your editing and production is so good. I mean, it literally. I mean, I really appreciated that. And so, do you have a background in that type of work, or just a hobby, or?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but it doesn't hurt that for about 20 years I spent working as a creative director in advertising. So I was one of those Madison Avenue guys, sitting around. I would come up with TV commercials or print ads or billboards, and I still do that as my day job, freelancing. I don't know if you where you guys are at, if you have heard of that gym chain, Crunch Fitness. So I do a lot of work for Crunch Fitness out in Texas, and yeah, and so that's so I still do that, but that's the reason why I so my background, I didn't. I would hire the crews and directors to film those commercials, but so I knew what could be done, and just from my own hobbyist, I used to like to take a lot of photography, not so much video until fairly recently, and I mean outside of like GoPro video when I was playing airsoft, but I still kind of dabbled in knowing a little bit about photography, and basically video is photography, just moving, right? So I knew how to light things or how to properly light things. And, I'm for my work background, I knew editing. So it does help in that respect. But I certainly, it's a one-man job here. So I don't have the crew and the $50,000 budgets to shoot a commercial anymore. So it's just me, mostly my phone. I mean, I do have a decent SLR camera, but all the stuff that I shot at SHOT Show, I just did with my phone, which these phones are just great. And yeah, I'd be happy to offer any suggestions or tips for you guys if you have any technical questions.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. I know I've heard a lot of them talking that went to SHOT Show about how it was really nice now instead of that, and they try to carry around GoPros and extra batteries and all that.
Oh yeah, need
technology
batteries.
in the new phones, were just wonderful. So that's a big plus for stuff like that.
What's a great thing is the newest phones are the big leap is in sound, because they're really doing a good job of cutting out a lot of the extra noise. Certainly, if you're at SHOT Show, you definitely need. It behoove you to have a better mic setup than a phone. But even compared to my phones that I was using last year, I got a newer model of Samsung phone. The sound was way better than the one that I was using a year ago. So, yeah, technology is a good thing in that respect.
All right. So, does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask Moondog?
Oh, you're on mute.
If he had his mic on.
There you go.
Yeah, Walter.
Can you hear me now? I'm sorry, it's my fault tonight. So I got a question. So I'm I guess a fledgling YouTuber. I've been at it a couple years is all, and I'm mostly a bullet caster. That's my forte, and some reloading and whatnot. So I've got to be real careful. But most of my filming is with. It used to be just with this iPad that I'm talking right now. This is an old one. The camera is like, class F. It's a terrible camera. So I use the GoPros and my iPhone. I kind of like the GoPros for doing my casting videos because I got my hands full and I can tell them to start and stop with audio, and that works really well for me. But my bigger problem is my desktop computer is an iMac. I'm trying to do my editing with iMovie, which is pretty limited.
I mean, it's
What
okay.
could you? It's okay, but that's about it. There's not much in the way of transitions, and there doesn't seem to be any decent add-on packs. Could you recommend another piece of software whose learning curve is maybe only about like this? Not like this.
The harder thing is because since you're in the Mac ecosystem, and so am I, to be quite honest. I haven't used a PC editing system in decades, but Final Cut Pro is pretty much the next step, but it is a bit more of a learning curve. But they did a lot with iMovie a few years ago to make it more like Final Cut in terms of how you move things. So if you are somewhat used to how to move footage blocks in iMovie, it kind of makes sense when you're in Final Cut Pro. But there's a lot more windows and little things that you kind of have to learn to use. And any of those instructional videos, whether you're on like lynda.com or even Adobe has tutorials on that.
Right. Yeah. I started looking at it, and as soon as I got as far as looking at the price tag,
you got
iMovie's free.
iMovie's free. So I always tell people start with iMovie. There's a couple of companies that there isn't a lot of graphic packages, but there are a couple. I can't remember who makes them. One other suggestion that's also somewhat free, CapCut. And I don't get a deal with them. I wish I did, but I downloaded them. I downloaded it for my phone when I was at the Last Shot Show because I just wanted to edit some shorts. I was really impressed with what you could do with CapCut on your phone and just upload shorts with it. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And it has they've recently updated it. It has a few more transitions and a couple of bugs, but still I was
good to know.
Blown away. Yeah.
We'll look at that too. Thanks. Those are good tips.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
My other tip is upgrade your camera. Which GoPro do you have?
They're Hero 8s. They're old.
Oh, well, Hero 8's pretty decent. I hear the newer GoPros have overheating issues, so I don't know if I would recommend them.
That. Yeah, these 8s don't go. The battery life isn't really huge, but I got 12 million batteries for them. So,
well, if you're doing a lot of desktop work, you could also just plug in USB, so you don't have to worry about your battery.
Yeah, well, I take them to the range, and I've usually got two running at the range. One on target and one.
Yeah.
One on that thing that we hold in our hands out there, and so they're pretty easy for me to use. They're handy, cheap, small. Fit in the range bag, all that other good stuff.
Yeah, GoPros are even the sort of the knockoff. I think Yi makes one. DJI makes some really good ones. They're the same format, but I think the Yi makes a really inexpensive one, like $150. Those are awesome target cams for the range. So buy one of those, or even a clip-on body cam. Perfect for putting up right next to your target. So for making your videos. Yeah. Cool. And then you
just
don't
make sure you don't shoot it like I did.
Yeah, there we go.
yeah. But most of my stuff's at an indoor range, and we can't put stuff down range.
Oh, right.
You would get shot, so it's got to all set up right at the shooting station. But it works.
All right. Hey, Gene, do you have a minute, buddy?
Sure.
Yeah. I'd like to maybe give your channel a plug because you had some issues. So you want to share that? And I think a lot of people have Gene's new channel, but if somebody could post this new channel so people get over there and sub to him, I'd really appreciate that.
I can do that.
Okay. Well, you want to tell us a little bit of what happened, buddy?
Well, my email got hacked, which led into my email into my YouTube channel because that's the one they hacked. And they put on this scamming cryptocurrency channel over top of mine. And so YouTube actually deleted the channel because of, well,
Oh.
illegal activity on the channel. So I've started a new channel under the same name because, well, after they deleted it, well, it was open again. So I'm still reloading from the hot pot, and I'm starting fresh. I was at 3,600 plus subs, 90,000 views, monetized, and doing okay with it. And it all went away.
Oh.
Poof. So, but let's see. What I was talking to the before chat, and what's strange is the email that was hacked is now back open again. So the hacker.
Well,
Yeah.
they might have. Whether was it a Gmail address or just it was a different address?
A Gmail, and
So-
my backup was an Outlook.
I wonder if Gmail, if Google either fixed that, or some hackers, if they think that you haven't figured it out, will put everything back kind of to normal, so that hoping that you'll use it again, and they'll have access to all the new passwords or whatever you're using. But I don't know what actually what actually happened in that respect.
Well, the computer. Well, I took my laptop to my computer guy, and he looked at it. He did some uploading, programming things on it, messed with it, and they said go home and reset your router, and you'll get a new IP address, and that IP address he was using is no longer valid for them.
Oh, well, that's good too.
So then I spoke to Spectrum too, the internet service, and the guy at Spectrum said, "Well, your guy knew what he was talking about because you just did the right thing." So I'm not using that email address for. It's just dead now to me. It's still alive. It's still live. It's live again for me, but now it's dead. I'm not going to interact with it.
Did you have any communications with Gmail about it? Or
I had communications with Gmail and YouTube because I was a YouTube partner being monetized. So I actually had communication back and forth with them. I spoke to a person on the phone from YouTube.
Wow. Okay.
Because of being a partner. So I wormed my way around and actually got to talk to someone. And it was unsavable at that point because the Gmail account was paused, which showed inactivity. So they couldn't do anything with it. But I'm working again now with somebody else, and I might be able to get my old one back. I don't know yet. There's a slight chance. If that doesn't happen, I'm just going to continue with what I've got and start fresh. Maybe change my formatting a little bit, change the videos a little bit, maybe a little more in depth on some things where I was trying to cut them short before, and just do it again.
Well, still kind of. Hopefully, they can do something to at least get you monetized faster. I mean, that kind of sucks. I know it's the first 1,000 seems to be always the hardest to get.
Yeah, the first 1,000, I couldn't believe I got the second 1,000, and then 3,000, and then just over 36, and then I got whacked.
Yeah. Well, good luck on you.
That was tough.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm happy to be here. I'm still with my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah.
I'm still in the family, so I'm happy. The subs really didn't mean anything. They just came. They just happened, and I was grateful for it. Don't get me wrong. I was completely grateful and humbled by it. But at the same time, maybe a little less pressure on me now.
I felt the same way. The YouTube yanked my entire channel not too long ago.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
a couple thousand subs, and I had to kind of start all over again too.
Was that the recent one? Where I know because they've been purging a lot of reloaders and anybody who had any suppressors recently because of bad AI.
No, it may have been something to do with that, but I lost mine about in October.
No.
And I had a couple of strikes, and mostly for bullet casting, but they went way back. I was working on 2 strikes already for showing lead in a bullet mold, not even at the pot, nothing. And then they went back way back into my channel and found something else they didn't like and said, nope, you're done. I peeled. Nope, no, you're an a-hole and we don't want you here anymore. Adios. They start all over again.
Well, I didn't have that issue, Walter.
They didn't like me at all. I tried. I talked to them and they said, nope, you're a multiple offender.
Yeah, the only warning I ever had was a copyright where I was videoing in my car going to a shooting event, and the radio was playing in the background.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't give it two thoughts because it's playing on the public radio. And I uploaded it, and they give me a copyright strike. Other than that, I've never had any warnings, no strikes, no nothing on my channel overall. Almost 6 years of it.
Yeah, that's the most sleazy, more sleazy than any other industry is the music industry, because they're the ones who have the AI that's listening to everything that's on YouTube, trying to find material that belongs to one of their clients, and then they'll flag you. Ugh.
Yeah.
I got a warning, a music deal. Luckily, they put the timestamp on there of where they were claiming the music. So I looked at it, and literally it was just me firing a gun. I mean, I'm outside. There's no music around, nothing. And it's just me firing a gun. And, somebody tried to claim that. And so,
they tried to claim a gunshot.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I'm going to start doing that. Let me tell you what, every time I see hear a gunshot on the channel, I'm going to file a claim and say, that's my gunshot.
Yeah, I disputed it and it went away, but yeah, it is still, takes time but so.
Well, I have most of my videos. Actually, I have all of them on another server, so I can re-download every one of them from the very beginning. But I think I'm going to pick and choose as far as what I'm going to upload now, as far as the projects. Like today, I got something new in for my Taurus G3 Tactical. So I got a video in the system right now that I'm going to be editing, and I'm going to re-upload the other G3 stuff and then add this to it. Just different perspectives now. It's all good.
Oh man. So anyway, one of the topics I thought we might cover just a little bit tonight, without just getting real far in depth or, really trashing, AETF or whatever, was the pistol brace rule. And, I watched, different videos and did some, tried to do some research, and, to me, it really didn't make a whole lot of sense, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to hear, your guys' comments on it if you had one. So anyway, we'll just start with you, Moondog, and we'll just go around the table here. And
well, yeah, I don't know what to add other than I think it's incredibly unfair and, well, to my point of view, wrongheaded and against, well, many things are against the Constitution that are laws or quasi laws or regulations. But to be honest, I kind of always thought, I'm amazed that they're letting this fly for so long, with being able to call an AR pistol instead of an SBR. But whatever, I was glad. But this new ruling, I don't know if it's going to last. Hopefully it won't. But the thing is, it's affected so many YouTubers that I've heard, and a couple that I know, in terms of having to pull content. So it's beyond annoying.
Yeah, and what little bit of research I did find was, just there's all kinds of it out there, but one of them that kind of caught my eye here. So the ATF, it's like in indirect conflict of a Supreme Court ruling of DC and Heller. And it says that any firearm that is in common use is protected by the Second Amendment. And so, with that being said, the ATF says that there's 3 to 7 million pistol braces out there in use, which other people say there's more. So it's kind of hard to figure it out. But if you just take the lowest number, which is 3 million, then that means one of every like 80 some adults would have one. So wouldn't that fall under common use, and line up with that Supreme Court ruling, So at least there's maybe some, some traction there, for, this to maybe get overruled like the bump stock, ban was or something. I don't know, but
That's a good point. I'd like to see them strike down the whole SBR regulation. I mean, that after hearing about this and looking into the regulation that was started on that, like that didn't make any sense to begin with. But it's been out around for so long. But I would like to see that taken down.
Yeah, and I'd also looked up that. See, we'll find it here. What year was that?
It's like the 50s.
Yeah, I got written down if I can just read my own writing. But
Gun Control Act was 68, I believe. But
it says 1934.
34.
Okay.
Yeah, it says so. It said so in 1934, a law passed that all SBRs, fully automatics, and silencers had to be registered and pay a tax stamp. And the reason for doing this, they said, to stop gang violence due to prohibition.
Al Capone.
And so that didn't really work for that. I mean, the criminals are going to have that stuff regardless.
Well, it's wonderful that they were able to stop all that gang violence by repealing prohibition. So let's repeal those other laws too.
Yeah.
Ian from Forgotten Weapons did a really great video about this, and he researches his history pretty well. It turns out that very shortly after that, the U.S. government themselves put thousands of M1 carbines out,
Yes.
and they turned out to be against the law, and that's why they changed some of the measurements on those. It was really interesting.
Yeah. Jamie, we ain't heard much from you tonight. You got anything to say on this, buddy?
Well, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre happened, of course, on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1929. And you've got an escalation of, let's say gangster activity. When you say gangster, I think of, it's kind of taken on a new connotation lately, as far as what a gangster is and what a gangster does. But, they call them the Roaring '20s, then the Depression hit in the '30s, and people. I think a lot of people were outlaws at that particular time because they didn't have any other choice. You did what you had to do to survive the Depression, and some people, Bonnie and Clyde, for example, Machine Gun Kelly, these type people were running rampant, and one of the things that was going on is they would jump jurisdiction to get away. They would go across a county line or a state line, and the cops would have to stop, and that's what led to the creation of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And that was really the start or the beginning of gun laws. And to me, the phrase gun law is like an oxymoron. It's like jumbo shrimp. military intelligence. It's not a real thing. It's not. And of course, I'm being facetious. Our military is great. I'm proud of the guys, men and women that serve, and I always will be. My granddad was in the Navy, but yeah, man, it's like that. All gun laws are unconstitutional. Period. Point blank.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Mark, you got anything?
When and if this finally makes it to the Supreme Court, if those justices do their job, regardless of how they have felt in the past, what has been done is completely against the separation of powers. And that alone should just make this a moot point. They should get rid of it. It should be done. Now, will that court do its job? I hope so.
And let me expand on what I was talking about for a minute. One more fact that we need to look at. And
Yeah.
Mark is obviously a history teacher and
Yeah.
borderline legal genius. Anyway, the thing there that what was also going on in the 30s too is kind of what he said reminded me of the fact that governments were not arming their officers. Like if Mark's the sheriff and I'm his deputy, he didn't buy me a brand new model Smith and Wesson Model 29. I had to go get what I could do, and a lot of times that was granddaddy's 32 revolver.
Yeah.
And these guys that are professional bank robbers, guess what? They can afford to buy Brownings, BARs, and 1911s and all this. So the people that are chasing the criminals are undergunned. They're outmanned and undergunned. So that's another thing that went on that caused all that stuff. So, and that's why they created the FBI and so forth and so on.
Yeah, and one thing about the ATF, it's pretty, I think pretty black and white that they do not have the authority to make laws. That's up to our legislation, and their only job is to enforce the laws that are there and not to interpret them, that would go against the laws. So, for me, myself, I mean, it's like, it happens sometimes when certain departments or people get a little power, they try to push the envelope a little bit. And so I don't know if that's what's going on or what.
Yeah,
or
the
if they're-
ATF is an executive branch, and they have usurped the power of the legislative branch from Congress. And that is why, the system of checks and balances, that's why the Supreme Court needs to grow a pair and squash this thing.
Yeah. Walter, you got anything?
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms should be the name of a convenience store chain in Florida.
Yeah. Should be one on every corner in California.
I think they got one in Texas.
And they could have a tabletop across the front there, and they could call that the bureau.
And that store needs to have a drive-through too, baby.
Yeah, I'll add a couple things to it. I'm as upset as everybody else about the ATF thinking that they're so high and mighty that they can effectively create law. They claim, they say, no, we didn't make any law. We just reinterpreted the rule that was already. No, as soon as you set that system up that says, hey, you got 120 days within which to apply, and then we can take up to 88 days to review your application, and we've never been able to review an application in 88 days. And then it goes to automatic denial. And if you're automatic denial, now you're felon, and we have all your horsepower right here. You sent us pictures and photographic evidence and all that kind of stuff. And then they said, we're going to pursue enforcement. That's making law. I don't care how you do it. You can call it a rule change if you want, or reinterpretation, but that's taken on the role of not only executive powers, but enforcement powers also. No, that's not your job. That's not why you were established in the first place. So don't do that. And we've got enough things going on over our head already. Who else amongst you out there besides Moondog and I here in California have to undergo a background check for ammo? Every time you buy ammunition, do you have to do a background check? Yeah, we do here now. And,
wow.
I don't know whatever happened to this concept of you're innocent until proven guilty. But to me, when I have to spend an extra $1 and sit there at the counter and wait for them to do a background check, that is a presumption of my guilt until I pay the government to prove my innocence. That's not right. That's backwards,
No, it's not.
The same. It's just irritating, and it's one of the things that keeps me reloading and not buying any factory ammo. They got no need to know how much ammo I got or what I'm using it for or anything else. And same thing with ATF. They have just so far overstepped their bounds now that it's almost unbelievable. And I'm with Mark over here. If the Supreme Court doesn't step up and say, hey, time out. You can't do this, Yep. You've got to stop melting, you little snowflakes, and stand up and realize that the rest of the, at least the half of the country is okay with firearms and bullet casting and going to the gun range and hunting and stuff. And just because, you loudmouths don't like it doesn't mean that it has to be your way. So let's follow the Constitution. It worked for an awful long time. And, one of the things that's kept us a free country and kept the government out of our back pockets all the time, but they keep reaching further and further and further in there, man. It's starting to itch.
That document was created very carefully, and it should be adhered to.
Absolutely.
Well, what's kind of sad about this, so like if you did try to register it and you couldn't get it done in that amount of time, and if paperwork was lost, whatever the case might be, and you're trying to, do the right thing. The way I understand it, the penalty is the same jail time as drilling the third hole, or
Stop on it.
Yeah, any of that. So it's the exact same jail time and everything. So, that right there in itself, kind of seems harsh when they say 120 days, but they're not capable of getting it done in 120 days.
Right.
No, I just got a new can, and I did the e-file system, and it took me 9 months with
9
e-file.
months.
Oh my goodness.
And they said it would take 3 months. It took 9 months. That's how efficient they are.
9 months with e-file.
Yes.
Yeah, and now add all of the guys with pistol braces on top of the current already overload that they've got, and guess how long it's going to take them now?
I heard a number of over 10 million with all different style pistol braces and blades combined.
Wow.
Now I was looking at another can while I was there, and my sales lady at my LGS, really cool. She looked at me and she said, I would wait for this, because if you try to file this right now, it could end up being years.
But how is there an advantage to waiting then? If it's going to, I guess if that law gets struck down, then, or the ruling or the regulation gets struck down, then there's less of a backlog. But if it's going to take years now, is it going to be 1 less year or 2 less years if you apply later?
It depends on how fast they process everything with everybody filing for SBR. So what I did is I just took my brace off, and I've got the buffer tube.
That's true. There we go.
Okay, then now it's legal. All you have to do is take the brace off and run a plain buffer tube with no foamy, no cover, no nothing on it, just a plain buffer tube, and you are legal.
I didn't know the foamies count.
Yes.
What?
The
Oh my
foamies
gosh.
are an accessory for the buffer tube. It has to be plain Jane.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm good with that. It's okay.
Well, I heard somebody said this, and I don't know if there's truth about it for sure, because I'm not an expert in these, small pistols like this style. But someone said that someone won't run right without the buffer tube. Is there any truth in that?
You got to have the buffer tube, but
They allow anything that requires the firearm to function. And the buffer tube on an AR pistol is required for the function of that operation.
Exactly, or it won't reload.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
unless you've got some funky, piston upper with, some specialized recoil system in the upper receiver. But yeah, a standard AR, you need the buffer tube.
In AK, you cannot put that brace on now because, and you can't put an extension on there because it does not require that to fire.
This is where I'm at, and y'all gonna hate this, I know. But one of the things I hate to hear is, why do you need a gun like that anyway? What are you
Because I
doing?
want it.
Right. What are you doing that you need an AR-15? That's too much rifle. Or, it ain't the fact that I need it. It's the fact that I'm a red-blooded American that's supposed to be free, and I want it, and I can afford it. So,
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go history teacher again. You do need that AR-15. You do need that AK-47, whatever, because that's what your potentially tyrannical government has.
that's what they're going to be coming at you with. And if you think they won't, try not paying income tax for about 5 years.
That is why they put that in the Constitution. It was not about hunting. It was only partially about being able to defend yourself from others who wanted to do you harm. It was mainly there to be able to fight against a tyrannical government.
Yes. So the government had no more power than we, the people, do. That's from what I understand that's exactly why it was written.
Even farther back than that, our founding fathers copied that from John Locke. And John Locke, in his writings in 2 treatises on government, said that people have not only a right to rebel against a tyrannical government, they have a duty to rebel. And that's why they need those tools. You don't need a muzzleloader today. You need the same thing that your tyrannical government potentially have. And I want my goddamn F-15 parked in my driveway.
I'll take a tank. But they make the tank. When the town I live in is where they actually make the tanks. So they can just roll one right down my street.
There we go.
My driveway. I'll be good.
Mark, since your education and knowledge, I was always told that, when somebody brings up, it's like, oh, well, the founding fathers didn't mean this or that. I've heard told that some of them actually own warships or a warship. You heard any truth in that?
They may well have. One of those arguments, is that it was meant for the militia, and the modern equivalent, people think is the National Guard, and that's a branch of the military. No, the militia at that time was the people that had their own arms, and they would be called to, defend of enemies, foreign or domestic. And that is what they crafted that entire document about individual rights, not about another part of the government. Individual rights.
Isn't that where the 3% comes from?
3%?
3%er?
I'm not familiar.
It only took 3% of the people to defeat the tyrannical government that we left.
As far as population.
Yes.
I thought it was more around 10%, but not everybody was fighting against the Brits during the Revolution. They were scared.
What gets me is, so the reason, people left, Europe, the British, and come to the United States was to be free, and they, that, kingdomship, because it really wasn't government, but basically whatever you want to call it, government there, they told them they could not have firearms, they couldn't be free to, worship, their own religion or whatever. So they came here and then they built guns and stuff to fight to get away from that so we could be free. And so now they're saying almost the same thing as they're trying to say, okay, we're going to start cracking down on your gun rights and this and that, which that was the reason that we were free from, a tyranny, king and queen and stuff. So, I think a lot of people really need to pick up a history book or Google some history every now and then.
Remember, though, history was written by the winners.
My point exactly.
So history books are full of lies. So more digging and more research is necessary outside of your local history book. You're going to have to find a lot of different resources that end up with the same conclusion before I believe it.
I think the best approach there is to find books that were written in the period by people who were there.
Yes. This country is a beautiful melting pot of all cultures. It's a wonderful place to be. But, the problem is we do have taxation without representation.
Well, on that positive note, gentlemen, I'm going to have to bow out because otherwise I'm going to be hit with more than just taxation for my wife. I've got a fundraiser dinner that I am very late for.
Oh boy, get yourself going, Moondog.
All right.
Hey,
Thanks a lot.
Nice
was
to
a
meet
pleasure.
you.
Good talking
To
with you,
see you
brother.
again.
Nice meeting you.
You're welcome back anytime, buddy. Thank you
course.
for coming.
Thank
We'll
you very
See you
much.
over on your channel.
Yep. See you on the channel.
Oh boy.
Well, let me talk about my wonderful day. Lighten
Thank
things
you,
up.
buddy.
We got up this morning and went to one of my local clubs, local range. They have a real nice clubhouse, and they had a small gun show, sportsmen's, flea market traders, whatever. And just went up there to support a little bit to the club, walked around, got myself a new to me but very old Lee 32 mold. It's a double wad cutter, really neat little mold, and it's in real great shape. $20.
Wow.
We got
Yeah.
got done there and took a ride over to our local Bass Pro. It's right up the road from us, and they were offering shuttle service and free parking. We took a ride up to the Pennsylvania Farm Show building where they're holding the Great American Outdoor Show, and got in there and walked around for a little while, saw some of the things, got to meet up with Chris from the 740 and Rich White, hung around for a little bit. Then we split our ways. Seth and I spent probably 2.5, almost 3 hours in the one section of the show was just the gun industry related stuff. They have fishing and archery and outdoor equipment, everything there. I mean, it's overwhelming the amount of stuff at that show. But in the gun room, everything is safe. There's no ammo. There's no firing pins and anything. So even at 13, Seth was allowed to pick up whatever he wanted to, manipulate it. Everything works. He was having a great time. We were at the HK booth. We were at the SIG booth. We were at the Ruger booth. just an awesome time. Went and had a
That
nice
sounds like a blast.
yeah. Went and had a nice little meal afterwards, came home, and then he stayed here, but I went out and met up with Chris and Rich, another fella, can't remember what his channel name is or his name is. I ended up sitting next to Bald and Curious for the evening at the table.
I'm sorry.
It was nice to meet him. But just had a really great day. A lot of fun.
That is great.
Yeah, that sounds like a good day.
Yeah, Mark Thomas, Val was actually the first YouTuber that I interacted with ever after I started my channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been. I have not met him in person yet, but we've been friendly ever since.
Good man.
Yeah, I actually trade stocks with some friends that's in the Philadelphia area, and stuff. And so I was asking them about it, and like one of them was actually going to go this weekend and take his family, but the other two, they're like, oh yeah, man, I've been there like when I, was before and stuff, and they said it's just a blast. It's really a neat place, so to be able to go see that.
It's quite a show.
So anyway, guys, I thought we'd add a little humor. You see there in the banner, it's not a bird, or it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a Chinese balloon. So I know there's probably people have different opinions on this, but I figured, just have a little fun. And I looked up a bunch of different memes and stuff like that, and that I thought was kind of funny. So I thought I would share some of these. So anyway, I will scroll through some of these and see if you guys get a kick out of it. Love Fang Fang. Anyway, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good size. That's a big gun or a real small person. I haven't figured that out yet. Now, you have to read this one here.
Weather bird.
Weather
maroon,
not for
totally not for spying.
Maroon. That's racist right there.
It is, but it sure was funny.
Totally not.
It's like the Chinese guy that went to the eye doctor.
That's even better.
All it was just delivery.
Well, that takeout actually turns into a plate, so that's actually a 3-part there, not a 2.
But yeah, I found a bunch of these pretty funny, so I thought everybody might get a kick out of them. So I don't know if ever you seen the cartoon Up and Away, I believe is that the name of it? No, just Up.
Yeah.
I believe was the name of it.
Up.
Had that old man and the little boy.
Yeah.
Who hasn't seen that? I mean, come on.
That was a great one.
Oh, that was a funny show. So, see, I think we got some more here. Here's Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
Looking for that big pot of honey.
Yep. See what else we got. Oh, this is supposedly the guy that shot it down.
That's great.
Yeah, I really thought that was funny there.
Yeah, man.
Maybe they're just doing a little advertisement.
Oh, crab legs on Friday nights.
And look who that was.
That's Joe Dirtay.
Joe Dirt.
Dirtay.
I wonder if he's got his asteroid in the basket there with him.
Yeah.
Chicken wings hiding.
This is what I thought was kind of funny too. Of course, it's just a
Yeah.
joke.
Geez. Yeah, not far from the truth, probably.
This says real-time image of the Chinese spy balloon as it floats over Alabama.
They throw a beer bottle at him.
And that just says,
Yeah.
y'all see that spy balloon way, way, way up there?
Fetch. That one hell of a dog.
Man, that's pulling that trigger with a string from about 50 yards back.
What
that
gauge
was,
is that?
that was my last one there.
Okay. I like
But
the fighter jet.
anyway, I really got a kick out of that, and I thought you guys might enjoy it too. So
I like this one today.
here, let me bring you up here, Mark. Why is it not going? See, I don't know why I can't zoom in here. That's pretty good.
Well, I see Scooby.
Yeah.
The parade
Scooby
float,
balloon.
Scooby
Parade
balloon
float.
said, if the spy balloon had looked like this, the ATF would have already shot it down themselves.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because he had them snacks with him too.
Oh boy. So, I mean, anybody have a comment on that? I mean, was it, some people say, oh, someone's saying, well, it's just, accident, got off course. But
No.
my deal is like they didn't want it. They said not to shoot down because they didn't want it to land or hurt on anybody, hurt anybody or, the debris from it. But
Shoot, it was over Montana. There was nobody down there for it to
when
fall.
it was over Montana, I mean, that seemed like the perfect spot right there.
Look, man, with what's going on in Ukraine, Russia doing their saber rattling, China right there with them, that's borderline act of war right there. We need to be very careful and very aware of what's going on. But on a brighter note, I heard a decent little riddle this week. If y'all want to hear it,
Yeah, of course.
probably shouldn't say. How many soccer players does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
I don't know for sure, but if they could use their hands, it would probably help.
I got a bad dad joke, but it's bad. I can't tell it.
All dad jokes are bad.
Couldn't be worse than that one, man.
I don't know. You know me, Jamie.
I know you, Gene.
Oh yeah, Outcast he says he's in the shower listening to us.
Yeah.
That might be TMI Outcast. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, we don't want to know about that. I'm a tattooist by trade, so I have a hard enough time with what I do with getting different people soapy and shaving them. So and I bring it up all the time to my customers. It's like, well, Billy, when was the last time you had a grown man get you soapy and shave you? Evil necessity of the job, but man, it happens every time. I don't know how I feel about it most days.
That's right, Scotsman. He said, Scotsman says, "Be careful. You know it could easily be worse." And
Oh
what I
no.
meant by not funny, like that one was not that funny, but like I said, I know Gene. It could take a whole total different direction. And
Oh boy.
I mean, hey man, it wasn't funny, but at least it was relatively clean. I mean,
Yeah. And we didn't pay nothing to hear it. I mean, it's not like we need to get our money back for the ticket or anything.
good point. Good point. I tell you the truth, though, the way I heard that joke was even funnier. Um, we were riding down the road, and it was I can't remember who was with us. It was me and my wife, and somebody was in the back seat. I think it was my son, and they were telling. It was a Christian music station we were listening to, and they were telling jokes, and there was that one, and I'm listening and I'm turning up the volume because I want to hear the punchline, right? And then
Yeah.
as soon as they say the punchline, my wife opens her mouth like saying something real loud, watch out, you idiot, traffic, that kind of stuff. Totally, totally innocent. She didn't mean to do it, but I'm like, right when they said the punchline, she opened. I'm like, oh man, I was trying to hear the punchline of that joke. What? Now I got to go through life and wonder what the punchline
That's what it was.
of the silliest joke I've heard in 6 months was. And then my son, who was in the back seat, looks it up and he says, "It'd be easier if they could use their hands." No, it was my daughter because we had car trouble with her on Wednesday night. I had to take her to get a new battery and put it in. And supper was way late that night. Y'all know how it is. How many of you guys have daughters?
I got 3 of them. Thank goodness. Well, they're all grown up and married now, but I got 6 granddaughters go along with that.
Oof.
Oof. Man.
I got one daughter, one granddaughter.
Well,
I've got 2 stepdaughters. That's enough.
oh boy.
G23's bragging.
Yeah.
Gizzard Gary got one daughter, one granddaughter. Pretty cool. But yeah, when your baby girl needs you, daddy goes.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I thought it'd be kind of fun just to ask everybody, what are you drinking right now? Water, coffee? I'm drinking a light beer, so
That's a 50-50 mix of orange juice and cranberry juice.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I'm doing the adult beverage.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I felt like I ought to have today, but
Well, it's
Yeah.
Saturday night. I'm at home.
yeah,
Hey, I've had my YouTube channel hacked and deleted. Had to start fresh again. I'm just a couple days into it. I just figured I need some good relaxation.
yeah, a reason to celebrate a little bit.
And I'm
Easy
not
to
going.
find
I'm not
reason.
going anywhere. I'm not driving. I'm safe at home.
I got a smart water, but it's almost empty. And since you brought that up, I'm gonna have to excuse myself. I gotta get a refill, and yeah,
Don't be
I'd
filling
buy
that.
some and take some more on.
Don't be refilling that smart bottle of water out of the tap.
always, man. Actually, I have a pure water filter that we keep in the refrigerator,
Yeah.
and the tap water goes through that, then into the bottle. But
yeah.
We
have
have
a
one of
filter.
those too. Yeah,
I'll be right
my
back.
water's so bad here that the water's awful here in my town. We got lots of it. Unlike most of California, we're on well water system in my town out here, but the water's hard as a rock, boy. So we run it through the little pure filter systems.
Have you ever
I
tried
ran
those?
some.
Have you ever tried those zeros?
No.
Yeah, the zero takes everything out of it. I mean, it's
Well, the pure does a pretty good job. I ran some Evian through it one time and it disappeared.
that's a bad dad joke there, buddy.
Bad dad joke. But
I've got nothing. Just sitting
You
here.
can buy. You could sell dehydrated water on
yeah,
Amazon.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody would probably buy it too.
yeah. Don't know what to rehydrate it with.
Well, that's the mystery.
Oh, and
Unicorn
everybody,
Note in there says, "When you find out, let me know."
Mm-hmm.
and everybody, make sure you put in the side chat there hashtag HBN6 to get entered in the drawing.
I'll do it, but I never win nothing. I'm cursed that way. I won the Powerball a couple weeks ago.
You did
$8
$8.
on my power play number. So that's the only thing I ever hit.
Well, hey, Tactical Fud, I think you'll have to put a you'll have to put a hashtag in front of that, buddy, for it to pick you up.
I gas for the win.
So Walter, CW sent me some beautiful bullets. I
Oh,
mean,
what caliber?
for 40 and 10.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I'm going to load it for my high point 10 millimeter is what I'm going to load them all for. And I got a bunch of nickel plated brass for it. Oh man.
Nice. Were they slick-sided bullets? Oh, because I think he has a
slick
mold.
side, hollow point. I mean,
Okay, yeah. So
this,
that's that
that.
MP mold.
He sent me a nice assortment package. His powder coating and his casting is, man, nice. Just serious nice.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's almost as good as me. Almost.
When I first started powder coating, I would take and roll them around and stuff, and I would pick them out, and I would put them upside down inside of bullet trays, and then turn them back around onto a silicone mat, and then bake them that way individually, so they were real pretty. But as much as I shoot now, and I got to do a basket at a time.
yeah. Standing them up like CW and I both use that technique. It is time consuming, and you got to kind of just want to do it for the fun of it. But if you're shooting 1,000 or thousands a month, you can't be pulling them out and standing them up one at a time. You got a basket to them. I've done that in the past just to make sure I could do it. But
yeah, I just basket them because I shoot a minimum, 1,000 to 1,500 rounds a month during season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I need to cast and coat as fast as possible.
Yep.
And still have a good product. I don't sacrifice for a good product. I still coat. I still swirl and coat in the small batch and then put them in the basket, individually. I still want a nice product out of it.
Is that answering GGW Outdoors question? It says how you do it?
How you do what? Powder coating?
I'm not for sure. He'd put that up there.
I'm sure that Joe is saying that. Yeah. He probably basket bakes his bullets as well for powder coating. The best basket I ever found was kind of one of the copper clad ones, non-stick kind of a deal. It worked really well, and weren't too. The bullets themselves wouldn't stick to the mesh. They'd how they kind of stick to each other a little bit. Sometimes you'll get several of them that are kissed, but if you drop them hard enough, they bust apart, and they still work fine, especially after they run through the sizer. Not a big
Oh,
deal.
oh yeah, definitely. I go to the local TSC, which is like a tractor farm supply,
Hmm.
and I just buy a roll of the wire mesh, the 1/4 inch mesh,
Yeah.
and I just make my own baskets. And I always
Yeah.
preheat the basket first. That way, the bullets have a less tendency to stick to it. So I preheat the baskets and yeah, do my swirling in my little number 5 recyclable containers, and powder coating with the bullet tray. I'll shake them up as normal, and then pick them out and drop them upside down into the bullet trays themselves. And I would use 4 bullet trays to my actual tray size for my easy bake toaster oven. And man, just flip them upside down and pull the bullet trays back off of them and bake them. And it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than picking them out with a set of tweezers or
forceps,
hemostats, forceps, whatever you're using. A lot easier than that, and you don't scar the sides of the bullet with that. I never had any scarring. I had really nice, even coated, pretty bullets using bullet trays.
Yeah, I use those big old Harbor Freight hemostat curved, and they don't mar the bullets, but it is kind of slow. But I've gotten faster at it, but it's still way slower than dumping them into a basket.
Try to use bullet trays. I mean, I just picked them up at the range.
Yeah.
And man, they work great.
I've done it that way in the past.
And I always wore a pair of nitrile gloves, and I would dip my fingers in the powder coat when I picked them up, and then roll them around a little bit, and then drop them head first into the tray. That way, it had a nice even coat.
Kind of like you was breading some catfish or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Pack that stuff on there.
Yep, exactly.
Except
making biscuits, put some extra flour on your hands,
You betcha.
Hell, I've been there, done that many times.
Yeah, and but I use parchment paper too to stand line up, and it works. And you can get away with baking 2 or 3 batches on one side of the parchment paper before it gets too funky, and then you turn it over and use the other side and do the same thing, and then you got to cut a new piece. But that stuff from the dollar store works fine. It's cheap.
Have you ever tried the copper mats?
Yeah,
I got the silicone baking mats.
Yeah, they work.
And they work good, but you see how the powder coat builds up on there.
Yeah,
and you can take them and do whatever. I'm sure that I could take this and put them in the sink or dishwasher or whatever and brush them off. That'd be fine. But let me see. I got the copper mat. It's a copper grilling mat. It's like you put it on the grill, and I got a couple of them right here.
Well, GGW's comment, I do 250 to 300 at a time in a basket. I don't mess around, man. I get it done.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what this does, I wish y'all could see the texture on it, on this stuff, but it's actually a woven copper mat. And when you get them out of the oven, there's your bullet bases have this very neat crosshatch pattern in the powder. It's really cool, man. It's I don't know why that amazes me so, but
oh, you're from Georgia. You're easy to please, man. You're easy going folk in Georgia.
Well, we tried.
Yeah, you Californians need all kinds of sushi and fruit.
Oh, we got to have all that
smoothies.
stuff. And $4 cup of coffee, and we don't know how to act if we have
$4. You're getting the small, huh?
small, yeah.
The problem with people, pretty much not just in Georgia, but in the South, is they're easygoing people. They don't get in a hurry to do a whole lot, and they, smooth and to get them riled up, man. Then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Hell.
Then that's when the AR comes out, right? Yeah.
Well, they don't get riled up too easy, but once you get them riled up, man, they don't ever forget it.
Well, I kind of live in that kind of neighborhood, Jamie. My neighbor next to me, he's from deep South Mississippi originally, so he's not in a real big hurry to do anything, and that kind of helps me slow down too, because we interact all year round. So
Yeah.
I've learned to like slow down a little bit and just take things the way they are.
It's a good philosophy to have. We do tend to rush around an awful lot out here in California. I don't know why that is, but people seem like everywhere you go downtown and people are almost running from place to place, and they talk fast and they don't think fast. They talk
Because they're all on meth out there. That's why.
Well, that's not far from the truth either. There's a bunch of that going on.
Bunch of pharmaceuticals. They all got that jab, trying to get it done before they're gone.
Everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere. It seems like out here. So,
do you find that the worse the traffic is, the more hurry people get in? And it's like, why?
Yeah.
You're in a hurry to go sit in the traffic.
You're right. Yeah. You want to be in a hurry to slow down?
Right.
I love when cars pass me, acting all foolish and speeding, and then they come up on the same truck that's ahead of me. They pass me to get behind. Then I get behind them, and I always wave at them. I'm a friendly guy. Hey, welcome to my club, buddy. I got my cruise set on 58, 60 miles an hour and a 55. You want to do 70. Guess what? Now you're back down to my level.
Mm-hmm.
See, Gene, I'm wondering about that short you put up about the toupee. I'm wondering, does that guy know his vinyl roof was peeling off the back of his Buick?
Well, that was a lady driving the car, and she would probably be completely oblivious to that top flapping in the wind.
That was funny. It was a funny video.
Yeah, you think it would have been making some type of racket inside, that thing flopping like that.
You think it would, but it was hilarious. I had the video of that. I rode back of that for quite a while, watching it before I got my phone out. I was just like, really? Woo!
See, I think that's living proof, Gene, of why they don't sell cars with vinyl roofs anymore.
I may just turn the radio up.
As I passed her, she just looked oblivious. She was just driving along, looking straight ahead, like dur. Well, I went and picked up my pharmaceuticals today. I'm good.
Well, my dad's had a garage and body shop for many years, and I know one time this lady come in. She's a regular customer, and she's like, yeah, she actually kind of run her car in the ditch a little bit in her driveway, and so they had it towed in, and so he pulled off, and there wasn't no front caliper brake or no brake pads left. It ate plumb through the entire rotor and stuff. And I said, man, that had to be making some noise. Didn't you hear that? She goes, well, yeah, I just turned my radio up a little louder.
Oh, man.
That happens sometimes, I guess.
That's kind of like when I started riding motorcycles. My first one was a Yamaha. My second one was a Honda. My third one was a Kawasaki. The one I got now is a Harley Davidson. I took it in. I said, man, I've been hearing noises on this thing. I didn't hear with my first three bikes. And the guy says, he said, I'll take it for a ride. He took it for a ride, and he come back and said, man, the only thing wrong with that bike is you need a radio to turn up. Just ride it, man. Just ride it. Harleys are going to make a little bit different. What are your thoughts on 10 millimeter? I think it's probably the best millimeter. I don't own one, but I have what I call pistol cartridges. 9, 40, 45. I think 10 would be the best. But my favorite is 40. But I don't own a 10 millimeter, and I think it'd be just a little notch above 40.
Well, depending on how you load it, Jamie, 10 millimeter is a huge notch above 40. Because mine, when I load mine, man, I get them done. I want to feel like I'm shooting a 10 millimeter, not a 40.
It's
you
kind
can-
of like
You can still
38,
38 to 357.
44 special to 44 mag. It's the
That's
same
not.
concept, just a little bit longer case and a little bit more powder.
Well, I don't own one either, Jamie.
Little
but
longer
I
casing
went
and
too
double the
soon.
powder. You can double the powder on between a 40 and a 10.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oof.
I don't
Oof.
have one either, and I'd like to have one. And they're 10 millimeters is legit in California, but the only reasonable place that I have to go shoot, the only venue that's in town, and the next being 100-mile round trip, is my gun club, and our pistol range is indoors. Everything else is outside. All the shotgun and archery stuff's outside, but the pistol range is only indoors. And then they won't let us shoot a 10 millimeter there or any of the other Magnum type cartridges because of the noise. It's too loud in the building, so they won't let us shoot.
What? Too loud?
Yep.
Here,
No,
bring a
no
nine,
Magnums.
bring a 9 major open gun, and then tell me about loud.
Yeah, well, they'd throw me out of there for that too. But if you download them, like I've shot 44 mag cartridges downloaded a little bit, so that they're not so loud and nobody knows the difference. And you could end up doing the same thing with the 10 millimeter. But why would you? Why would you want to? But and it's not like they're gonna, kick you out of the club for doing it. But they'll just come in and remind you, hey, you're not supposed to shoot those in here. It's too noisy.
Well, Ozzy, Underwood ain't got nothing on my reloads. All right, and I've showed that on video with a chronograph. Underwood, okay, yeah, nice for factory, but man, when you get to reloading, man, you can spice it up.
Yeah, David, I'd say if you're in Alaska, most of the guys up there that I kind of know, they say you need to carry, a 10 millimeter is what you need to carry, as far as, the wild animals or whatever, stuff like that. But,
I remember Jesse B Outdoors doing one of his first videos on 10 millimeter, and he had compared it with some 40, and it just wasn't that much more velocity, same weight bullet, everything.
He was downloading quite a bit. Actually, Jesse stopped in my work day before yesterday
I saw
oh,
that.
yeah.
and see me. Yeah, that was nice to see him, talk to him. I got to show him around the shop, and he freaked out when he seen huge bags with 3,000 pounds of 9 millimeter casings in them.
I did see a ballistic test on with the gel on a 10 millimeter and 45, and 45 went like 3/4 of the way through the gel, and the 10 millimeter went just all the way through it without any problem. And I think those were same brand ammo, I believe, but
Yeah, you're really talking about different animals.
yeah. Yeah,
MCK's out there. How you doing,
yeah,
Mark?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get one of those 10 millimeter high points. So as soon as I possibly can, that'll be the first one I own. So
My son was looking at one. I said, "Oh hell no!" He's like, "What?" I said, "They ain't no son of mine going to own a Glock or a High Point. Get with the program, boy."
Hey, now high points are OH10 made, okay? They're cool. And my new one is spectacular. I got to re-upload my first two videos, then I got a third video and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth planned.
I think the coolest thing they make is those carbines. I think those are pretty cool. I really do.
Oh, the carbines are fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a matching one for my 10 millimeter pistol now.
There you go.
Dang it. Dang it.
I almost bought one of the 10 millimeter carbines about 3 weeks ago. I couldn't pay the price that they were asking for it.
So that brought on a sit down in the dining room. I'm like, sit down right there, boy. Yeah, when I say boy, he's that much taller than me. Obviously, 28 pounds, 28 years younger. And I just took out one by one my handguns and showed them to him. And so now he's in love with 1911s. So,
There
yeah.
you go. I really enjoy my 1911s. Yeah, I shoot them more and more over my other handguns.
yeah, 1911 just it's a tough gun to beat. I mean,
Yeah, they're stupid
it's just
simple to
improving.
tear down and put back together, and they're just, mine have always been reliable and good shooters. The worst one I have is my old Colt Mark IV that I've had for almost 50 years. That thing is really hard on brass, but it needs to have the ejection port opened up a little bit, but I don't want to do it. The gun is pristine. It's going to stay that way, but I got several Kimbers and a couple Springfields, and they're good shooters, and I like shooting them.
Yeah,
They love cast bullets.
I have a Colt. One I got from Willie. Scotsman's got two special 1911s. I have one special 1911. I think the big thing about me and 1911s is I'm at the age where the GI model 1911s, I have a hard time seeing those itty bitsy sights.
Mm-hmm.
So a gun with a better sights on it would be imperative for me.
I have the same problem, Jamie. I just carry 2 more magazines.
Spray
Good
and pray,
Pray and
baby.
pray.
Yeah, Rock Island, is that it?
Well, Mark, if you just buy a 2011, you wouldn't need 2 extra magazines.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get the function of the 1911, and then you get the double stack mags. Then you buy 170 millimeter mags, which hold a lot.
My 1911 is one of the Springfield GI copies. And one of my local shops bought out someone's collection, and they had, I don't know, 15 or 20 different varieties. And I got that thing for a price that I'll never see again. So
Wow.
that one's just going to stay with me.
Yeah, I've got, I think I have 2 Springfield 1911s. I got a couple of their Springfield handguns, but I have, and some guys will hate me for this, but I have a 1911 Springfield 9 millimeter. It's a really good shooter. All that mass, and little 9mm cartridge. Boy, that thing shoots lights out, even with me behind it. And then I have a TRP operator. This is just a really good shooting gun too. In fact, that might be my best shooting 1911. And then I got a couple Kimbers.
I've got an ATI American Tactical Ports Titan lightweight. It's what they call it. It's got the 3 1/4 inch barrel. So what they call a new agent size, the smallest one. That thing shoots incredibly well for what it is and for what it costs. But those, it and Rock Island, the company, I keep getting them and the other company that makes the upper end AR-15s mixed up. But those things, man, all of our friends have those 1911s, and some of them are 10mm even, and they just not having any trouble with them that I know of.
The
I've
last
got one ordered
1911
in
I
38
had,
Super.
the last one I had was in 10mm. Rock Island Armory, Lipsky's edition, flat dark earth, G10
nice.
grips, and it ate every case I put through it.
Hmm.
It crunched the neck of every 10mm case. So that gun went bye-bye.
I guess.
Because, yeah, that's 10mm brass. We don't ruin that.
Yeah.
I don't know what was wrong with it, or maybe wrong sprung. I don't know, but I was not looking into it. It just went back to the LGS.
Yeah, that ain't right for sure.
But yeah, pursuit of accuracy. Moondog had to leave just a little bit ago. He was at a fundraiser, so he was on here for a while, and then he had to jump off to do that with his wife. So I assume you come from his channel? If you did, man, we appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, it was interesting to talk with Moondog too. I had never even had heard of his channel until tonight, so I went right over and subbed him. I was, when you showed that clip at the beginning of the show, Hillbilly, I thought, man, this guy knows what he's doing when it comes to video. His stuff is good. He reminded me a lot of the stuff that Reloading and More from over in Malta. Have you guys seen his stuff, his video work that he does? It's incredible. He never says anything when he's doing his videos, but the quality of his editing and stuff is really, really good.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his, filming and editing and stuff. And like even when he's filming those, that fundraiser, those airsoft matches and stuff, something like that's hard to do anyhow. And those turned out really good. And so I was really impressed, and I liked his channel. And so we got the talking, and I hope he comes back. I think he's planning on coming back and visiting us some more. So
that would be nice. Yeah. And Pursuit of Accuracy, you can go back. He was here for the first hour. You could scrub back on the feed here and watch the part that he was here for. He did spend a good amount of time with us.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So you're a gun tuber too, Pursuit of Accuracy. Can he post his own link on here?
I'll go find it.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll find your link and post it on here so people can check out your channel.
I got it.
All right. Thank you, Gene.
You're fast, Gene. Holy cow.
Boom.
There she goes. All right.
And I have subbed.
Yep, ditto. just tagged you, Pursuit of Accuracy. So we'll go start looking at your stuff too. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, you're going to have you get a few more subscribers
Mm-hmm.
and a whole bunch of uh, yeah.
Just subbed.
The comments are anyway. I subbed too,
Yeah, so did
All right.
I.
and we'll apologize in advance for the.
Well, you know what? If it's about heavy precision rimfire, that'd be good.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for guys at my range to take a rimfire out to 300 yards on a consistent base.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat when you see some of these rim fires, really reach out there a long ways. Man.
My range master's got a 22 rifle that 300 yards all day long on a silhouette size plate. All day
Really?
long. Yes, it's incredible. But what he has in that rifle, man, I can buy 2 open guns with a main and a backup. And open guns are not cheap.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Get a video out there.
That'd be fun to watch.
Man, I'd hate to have to walk 585 yards down there and look at my target.
Spotting scope, my man. Spotting.
Yeah, that'd be a golf cart and a good spotting scope.
Yep.
Yeah. And there better be a vegetable platter or a charcuterie tray or something like that, or some sausage or something when you get back.
You betcha.
I just clicked on my analytics. I got one of the first videos I ever done. 35 Remington Load 1, April 17th, 2018, and it's got 233 views in the last month.
Wow.
I did
Ew,
33 of those.
Oh, there he says he drives the drone down there. That's the way to do that.
Oh,
He's already smarter than any of us.
right.
Let's not push our luck with him.
Well, you're flying those drones, watch out for those big white balloons too. So
Yeah.
run into one of those.
I had a drone for a while, man. That thing was just like a video game. I mean, identical to using a controller of a video game. It's crazy.
Well, I had one. Of course, it wasn't one of those real high dollar ones, but one evening, we was here cooking out or whatever. My son-in-law decided they wanted to fly it. Want to see how high it go, and we're living in these Ozark Mountains. We're up on a hill anyhow, and just hollers and trees everywhere. And they got up high enough, and it got caught in the wind, and they can't get it to come back. So it's the last time we've seen that one.
Well, I'm kind of hoping this video does well because I've been working on it for a good while. Like that specific load for that specific rifle, the Brass Smith video, the powder measure video I did, it's doing well still, and the Hornady Cam Lock case trimmer. That video's, I mean, they've got views in the last 48 hours. I'm like, Are you kidding me? People still watch that? I guess if they're wanting to know something about a specific item, you know, and that's kind of what I was talking about last week. Hillbillies, if you do something on, sometimes it seems like even the more precise or, you know, the more you can narrow it down to a specific item, the better the dang thing does.
Yeah, you never know what'll get people's attention. But before my previous channel got taken down, I had one that was on the RCBS Trim Pro case trimmer, and it had 50,000 views, and it was one of the cruddiest edited, low light iPhone shooting suckers I ever did. 50,000 views. I got, holy moly, why? And on an old piece of gear, you know.
Yeah,
That was
I had one video on a Canon TP9 SF that had mega views, and well, it's gone now, but you know, I'll probably re-upload it. I know how that feels.
So, for those of you that just showed up, we got some new people in here. If you want to type in the chat there, hashtag HBN6, you'll get entered in a drawing. And we're going to have a drawing here in a little bit. So make sure you get that typed into the side chat and so you can get entered in that.
What are you giving away, Hillbilly?
I am giving away another tactical knife.
no boy.
Yeah. It's no high dollar knife, but it seems to come in pretty handy. We have one in each car, you know, in the hang on a second here. Switch this. Okay. But it's not, you know, anything high dollar, but it's nice just to have in a bag or whatever. It's got a glass breaker on it. It's got a seatbelt rope cutter there. It's got a fire starter, a little LED flashlight, and bottle opener on it. And also it's got, you know, a straight edge and a serrated edge. And of course it's got a belt clip too. So anyway, it's nothing real fancy, but it's well worth keeping around. And it is actually really sharp. We got our son-in-law's one for Christmas, and he was cutting something, package open or whatever, and he actually cut his thumb. He goes, "Man, that thing's a lot sharper than what I thought it was." So,
No, that looks like a nice knife.
there you go. Sue says, "Well, if I win, just give it to Casey." We got Tim S on here. Hey, buddy. It's okay.
So David Walcott's got a question. What kind of knives do you guys like? Big or big enough? I'm going big enough. I want it big enough to do what I need to do with it, not a whole lot bigger.
Yep, I like it to fit in my pocket nice, but still do the job.
Get
Same way here. I don't want anything that's so big that's going to end up tearing holes in my Levi's pockets, but I want it there when I do need it.
Yeah, for example, I don't own a Bowie knife, and I'm a deer hunter. I just don't. I'll be skinning deer, not bear or buffalo or elk. You know?
I'm willing to carry two. I have a nice little folder with a nice thin, real sharp blade for detail work, and I really do love a nice fixed blade. Not nothing big, maybe 3.5, 4 inch blade, and I'll carry that on my belt and carry the folder in my pocket, and I'm covered.
Man, I love a full tang.
Yeah.
Just with nice heft. I mean, not heavy, but as far as carrying in like that clips on my pocket, it's a Gerber paraframe. For $20, that knife's hard to beat, and you can get it razor sharp.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you guys my trick. I carry every day and have for years this old Uncle Henry jackknife, you know, and of course, I don't want it messed up or anything like that. So I carry that in my pocket. But when somebody asks me, if I have a knife they can borrow or use, then I just carry a little cheap one here and I hand them that one. That way I don't have to give up my old jackknife, for somebody
That's a
to
good idea.
break or something like that, because, and a lot of times it's honest mistake. You hand it to them, they do something, and then like you get talking, whatever, and then they accidentally stick it in their pocket. So I just not taking any chance with this old knife.
Or something else I keep in my pocket. 3T EOS.
Oh yeah.
It's an old light. I'm gonna tell you guys, if you get one of these, don't trust that clip. You'll be disappointed.
I know. I see Gary out here in the side chat. He's shown a lot of good knives there lately, or for a while now. Some really nice ones.
Yeah, I will have me a cold steel before long. You and CW got me itching for one of those Tommy guns.
There you go. Can't believe it's a knife. Kind of like the butter, huh? But yeah, Casey had won one on our monthly drawing on my channel. We just have a free giveaway every month, and Casey had won one of those knives over there. So
I got one too. So if
yeah.
my name happens to get drawn, just go ahead and redraw.
Okay. Sorry about the dog barking there a while ago. I guess a cat happened to walk across the front yard out there and made it. He just went crazy.
Oh, I got a meat cleaver Tommy gun. I need to show that thing off. It's
David, thanks for coming, buddy. You have a good evening. Sorry to cut you off there, Jamie.
It's okay, man.
So
Yeah,
meat cleaver.
yeah, and it's German made, and my mother-in-law got it from I think it was a gift from her brother, who's pretty well off, but there's no telling what this thing cost, man. It's might be $25, but I don't think so.
You can mostly tell by the steel and the edge it holds.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
fellas, it's midnight in Georgia. I think I'm gonna bid y'all good night.
Midnight in Georgia. Well,
Yep, same here.
all right, guys. Well,
You know
let's
what
go
they
ahead.
say? Take the midnight train to Georgia.
You betcha. Let's go ahead and have this drawing before you
I
guys.
think
have
I'd
to
rather
take
do
off.
the Orange Blossom Special.
That's a good one.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and have this drawing real quick, and that way you guys can go ahead and hop off. And
Those Ultratechs are absolutely awesome, but there's no way I'd ever buy one.
all right, let's see who wins this. Hit the button here. I won it one time on accident. Gene.
Hey.
Reloading from the hot
All
tub.
right, congratulations, buddy.
Gene, the reloading machine has won. All right.
I hear some cheering in the background.
That's Ms. Hotshot back there. We hear you back there, girl.
Gene, don't let her beat you to the mailbox, brother. Oh, yes, we do.
I'll just put Mrs. Hot Pot on the label.
There you go.
Come on. It's Ms. Hot Shot.
But yeah, Gene, if you can email me where you want to ship it to, I'll get that sent out to you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Well, get the Gary won the drawing the other night with my giveaway.
Can't hardly hear you, buddy.
Gizzard Gary won my what I gave away on Chris's chat Wednesday night. So I got a nice package for him going out.
All right.
Nice.
So that's great, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
You betcha. G23 says congrats, Mrs. Hotshot.
Y'all have a good evening and a great rest of your weekend. I got to get ready for Sunday school in the morning.
All right,
Yeah.
Jamie, Mark.
Good night, James.
Thank you
I'm
very
gonna
much
sleep out too.
on.
Night, guys.
Is there anything you guys want to say before you gotta go, before you leave?
Just thanks for having me, man. Always fun hanging out with you guys, and I'm proud to see some growth and try to support my old brother Hillbilly over there best we can. So thanks for having me. Y'all fun.
Well, I sure appreciate you coming on, and thank you for the kind words.
Well, you're more than welcome. Mark, you got something to say?
Yep, just wanted to say thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure. If you want to have a little peek of the Great American Outdoor Show up there at the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex, I put a video up just about the time we were launching the show tonight. So just a little quick look.
I'll jump over there and watch that as soon as I get off here then. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I was hoping that you had some footage to share.
I think Chris got a lot better footage than I did. He was there most of the day. I was only there for a few hours, but just a little bit. It was crowded.
What was the name of this?
What's that?
What was the name of this?
The Great American Outdoor Show.
Thanks, Tim S. You do the same, buddy. So I'll catch y'all next week. Y'all keep an eye out for my video. I got one coming out any minute now.
Will do, Jimmy.
Good night.
Thank y'all.
Sure
Good night,
will.
Jamie.
Good night.
Mark.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. He'll be. I'm gonna pull out too. It's getting time for me to fall asleep on my face here. Pull a Mark Thomas. It's called Mark Thomasing now. If you see me like this,
that is
Mark
wrong,
Thomas.
Walter. That's wrong, man.
Yeah, if
He
I
might
sat in a
never say
nice,
anything
comfy
about it.
chair like he does, I would probably fall asleep during
Well, he
this.
did. Was it last week or week before? I think it was week before last week.
Last
I fell asleep
week.
on the.
Yeah.
Was it last week? Yeah, on the Georgia chat. It was almost funny. It was great though to see him. He was so dog tired he just couldn't keep his eyes open.
I'll say good night to everybody. Man, it's been a great chat. Nice side chat rolling along there. Walter, it's always nice to see you. Hillbilly,
Yes,
man, love you, dude. No homo. All right.
Man, I appreciate coming
Thank
on, and I hope your channel gets built back up really fast for you, buddy. So,
I'm not going to worry about it. Just let it grow as it's going to. I'll just keep putting out content. I'm going to re-upload all of the high point stuff and then continue the series and the series on the Taurus G3 Tactical, as well as a couple other things I got going on. So just let it be what it's going to be now.
you betcha. Well, I appreciate you having you on here. Appreciate it very much. And Walter, anything you want to share before you jump off here, buddy?
Yeah, sure. This is my first time on your chat, Hillbilly, and I really had a good time. Most of the fellers over there and the ladies in the side chat, I recognize all of those good folks over there. Kind of the usual suspects, I guess, is how we could say it. And so it's always fun to interact with all. Yeah, Mark. Mark's asleep in the side chat now. Good one, Mark. Anyway, a good time here tonight. It was fun talking with Moondog, and he and I were from the same general area here in California, so that was interesting. And good to interact with the folks over there on the side chat. I've got a couple projects in the works here. I've got this series going on the Hensley and Gibbs number 68 cast bullets for 45 auto, comparing that to 7 other molds. And so that next edition of that, where we make dummy rounds to see if they're going to work in our firearms, that'll come out Monday or Tuesday. And so that's coming up on my channel. A couple other irons in the fire, but that's it for me. So good to be here. Enjoyed myself for sure. And we'll see all of you folks again soon.
All right. Well, this will end this here, and I just want to thank you guys all for coming on and side chat. It's been great. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. Just all I have to say is remember God, family, and country, and if you can, make someone's day better. And if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, I'll see you all again. We'll see y'all. Love you.
All right, like.